good to see you. Today I want to talk about soloing and getting a little more out of your solos. See if I can lighten that up a little bit. It's a little dark, maybe a little better. Typically when you're first soloing, you're just going to kind of run through the scales and it's going to be kind of plain and boring. It's going to be... not a lot of melody there. It's just pretty, just scales. And you're just kind of noodling around trying to find stuff. So to get a little more out of it and make it sound more melodic, one of the tricks is repetition, kind of repeating a phrase, a lick, a riff, bringing it back around and playing it a couple times to catch the listener's ear. Sometimes throwing a little variation on it, but keeping it similar. Let me give you an example. We'll loop 1, 5, 6, 4 progression. Show you what we typically would do when we're starting. Just noodle around. Alright. It's just repetition. There's nothing fancy there. Or just going around noodling notes. So we want to add the repetition. So let me show you. Using a riff and not just noodling everywhere, and you'll see the difference. Kind of playing that riff over and then repeating it again catches your ear. You're kind of getting familiar to that pattern. It's how our ears work. We like familiar stuff, so when you hear a repeated pattern or a repeated melody, that's why a lot of new music is just the same stuff over and over, because it gets caught in your ear real quick. All right, so just a little bit of repetition and not just noodling around aimlessly. Kind of find a little home spot, a little position, work it for a minute. And then you can go up and do a different pattern somewhere else in that scale. All right. Another trick I like to use is not just the pentatonic, but adding some of like the other colorful notes in that you don't use in the pentatonic. The seventh and the fourth. All my brothers use that a lot. Putting that C in there. That fourth, if you're playing in G. I'll give you an example of that. I'll play the pentatonic, kind of a riff, and then I'll play it with the extra notes, just so you can hear it. All right. Pentatonic, and then putting those extra ones in there like that. That seventh tone of the scale, the F sharp in this case, is nice over the D because it's actually your major third of the D. And then that C, bringing that note in. All right, it's just a couple little things to add to your soloing, and also knowing your theory really is going to help, because if you're playing, G. What notes can you hit? You obviously can hit your root or the octave, G. We're going to G. You can hit your fifth, the D. and then your third, and the B note. Those are good landing points when you're soloing. The Rozell on the 1, the 5, or the major third or minor third, depending on the chord you're playing. Or if you're playing a D minor chord, that minor third, that flat F, is a nice tone to hit. It brings out that sad tone to it, the minor. And then over certain chords, let's give you let me clean that out. Let's do a Mixolydian kind of thing. Let's go with a D7. To do is play the flat and 7th over there. Over that D7, you got a flattened 7th, which is going to be you got a C note in there. And when you're playing that, you get that C note in there. It's really tasty. As Marty Short should say, tasty little note. Tasty lick. Kind of a jam band feel. Fish, a lot of jam bands, that Mixolydian. Alright, that flat 7. Very cool jam sound. And I don't want to get into theory in this, but knowing theory is going to help your soloing. Like I said, you can kind of pick out and know where to kind of go and pick out those colorful flavors that are going to bring those chords more to life instead of just aimlessly wandering. So 3 things: repetition, adding the extra notes, like from your major scale or natural minor, whatever you're kind of working around, if it's minor, pentatonic, or major, borrowing some of those extra notes, repetition, and then getting into some of the modes, like I said, the Phrygian, the Mixolydian, kind of experimenting, and I've got a whole lesson on how those are not that difficult. Everyone makes modes very difficult, and they're really not. I encourage you to look at it, but so you're also, it's kind of the second thing, just picking up extra notes, but learning how they work over the chords to bring some extra flavor. So you're not just stuck with 1 or 2 pentatonic positions, and that's the thing, knowing the different ones so you can link them together really will open up your lead playing. So I'm not a great lead player by any means, but I can go sit in with a band, know what key we're in, and I can hold my own and just be able to fill up space and just have fun and not have to memorize a solo and worry about missing a note and then having a train wreck. You can just show up and just fill in. And it's kind of a fun experience when you're playing with other musicians, being able to just jam. It's one of the cool things when you get to that level where you can just jam with people and not have to memorize stuff. You can just play. It opens a whole new world. So a couple of tips on soloing. Thanks for watching. Always, as usual, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. You get updates on this channel. Share it. Really appreciate that. I'm trying to grow this channel, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.